Hey y'all, Michelle Raza here with Finding Yourself SATX Life Coaching, where since 2017 we've helped you find your best self by working with you to set personal vision statements, move towards goals, and most importantly, hold you accountable to those goals in weekly coaching sessions. Check out my website. It's at www.findingyourselfsatx.com. There you can see a slew of digital products that we have now to bring the cost down on life coaching. So a life coaching session is pretty expensive. It's also not covered by insurance. And as I've mentioned previously, if you have health insurance, I do always recommend seeing a therapist. It's a little bit different what they do and what a life coach does. But we have taken our products and digitized them so that anyone can afford to start their life coaching journey. We've actually just knocked the price down to $9.99 to begin your journey. And if you want the whole set of the personal vision statements, instead of paying $70, so there's 7 of them, and then paying $10 each, we've knocked that down to $49.99. So you can go ahead and get started. We also just posted our video on goal setting, and then this week we'll be posting a video on finding an accountability partner. So I really hope you do take the time to check out my site. And also, if you like these videos, if they provide value to you, please do like and subscribe. It really does help us little YouTubers. Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to continue with Melody Beattie's Codependent No More. We're going to talk through Chapter 11, which is Have a Love Affair with Yourself. Love thy neighbor as thyself. The problem with many codependents is we do just that. What's worse, many of us wouldn't dream of loving or treating other people the way we treat ourselves. We wouldn't dare, and others probably wouldn't let us. Most codependents suffer from that vague but penetrating affliction, low self-worth. We don't feel good about ourselves, we don't like ourselves, and we wouldn't consider loving ourselves. For some of us, low self-worth is an understatement. We don't merely dislike ourselves, we hate ourselves. We pick on ourselves endlessly, heaping piles of shoulds on our conscience and creating mounds of worthless, stinking guilt. Don't confuse this with true, authentic guilt, which motivates change, teaches valuable lessons, and brings us into a close relationship with ourselves, others, and our higher power. We constantly put ourselves in impossible situations where we have no choice but to feel badly about ourselves. We think a thought, then tell ourselves we shouldn't think that way. We feel a feeling, then tell ourselves we shouldn't feel that way. We make a decision, act on it, tell ourselves we shouldn't have acted that way. There is nothing to correct in these situations, no amends to make. We have done nothing wrong. We are engaged in a form of punishment designed to keep us feeling anxious, upset, and stifled. We trap ourselves. I believe, as Ernie Larson and other authorities do, that our low self-worth or self-hatred is tied into all aspects of codependency: martyrdom, refusal to enjoy life, workaholism, staying so busy we can't enjoy life, perfectionism, not allowing ourselves to enjoy or feel good about the things we do, procrastination, heaping piles of guilt and uncertainty on ourselves, and preventing intimacy with people, such as running from relationships, avoiding commitment, staying in destructive relationships, initiating relationships with people who are not good for us, and avoiding people who are good for us. Actually, it doesn't matter when we began torturing ourselves. We must stop now. Right now, we can give ourselves a big emotional and mental hug. We are okay. It's wonderful to be who we are. Our thoughts are okay. Our feelings are appropriate. We're right where we're supposed to be today, this moment. There is nothing wrong with us. There is nothing fundamentally wrong with us. If we've done wrongs, that's okay. We were doing the best we could. We can cherish ourselves and our lives. We can nurture ourselves and love ourselves. We can accept our wonderful selves with all our faults, foibles, strong points, weak points, feelings, thoughts, and everything else. It's the best thing we've got going for us. It's who we are and who we were meant to be. And it's not a mistake. We are the greatest thing that will ever happen to us. Believe it. It makes life much easier. We aren't second-class citizens. We don't deserve to lead second-hand lives. And we don't deserve second-best relationships. We are lovable, and we are worth getting to know. People who love and like us aren't stupid or inferior for doing that. We have a right to be happy. We deserve good things. We are good. We are good enough. We are appropriate to life. Much of our anxiety and fearfulness stems, I believe, from constantly telling ourselves that we're just not up to facing the world and all its situations. Nathaniel Branden calls this a nameless sense of being unfit for reality. I'm here to say we are fit for reality. Relax. Wherever we need to go and whatever we need to do, we are appropriate for that situation. We will do fine. Relax. It's okay to be who you are. Who or what else can we be? Just do our best at whatever we are called upon to do. What more can we do? Sometimes we can't even do our best. That's okay too. We may have feelings, thoughts, fears, and vulnerabilities as we go through life, but we all do. We need to stop telling ourselves we're different for doing and feeling what everyone else does. We need to be good to ourselves. We need to be compassionate and kind to ourselves. How can we expect to take care of ourselves appropriately if we hate or dislike ourselves? We need to refuse to enter into an antagonistic relationship with ourselves. Quit blaming ourselves and being victimized, and take responsible steps to remove the victim. Put the screws to guilt. Shame and guilt serve no long-term purpose. They are only useful to momentarily indicate when we may have violated our own moral codes. Guilt and shame are not useful as a way of life. Stop the shoulds. Be aware of when we're punishing and torturing ourselves, and make a concerted effort to tell ourselves positive messages. If we should be doing something, do it. If we're torturing ourselves, stop it. It gets easier. We can laugh at ourselves, tell ourselves we won't be tricked, give ourselves a hug, then go about the business of living life as we choose. If we have real guilt, deal with it. So basically, this chapter is pointing to the core of many codependent actions, where essentially you feel that you're not good enough, and so you're willing to be with someone that maybe, I guess, think of it this way, like if you have a child, or if there is a child in your life that you really like a niece or a nephew or someone that you take out for ice cream and you're good friends with and you can play around with and stuff, just imagine them dating the same person that you're dating. And imagine if you would be okay with the way that that person treats them. If that's your codependent relationship, it may be that it's a friendship or a work relationship, whatever it is, whatever your codependent situation is, just imagine that child that you love growing up and then having to deal with the same things that you're dealing with now. What would be your advice to them? What would you tell them? And what would you consider it okay for them to deal with and not deal with? I found in my own personal experience, as well as with talking with others, that you would not wish upon others what you yourself will allow yourself to deal with. And so that's where the self-worth aspect comes in. If you wouldn't allow it for the child that you love when they grow up to have to deal with what you're dealing with, then you shouldn't be allowing yourself to have to deal with that stuff either. So that's just a really interesting way of putting it. I've heard of people talking about your inner child, but it's kind of hard to visualize that. It is easy to visualize a child in your life that you love and care about, whether it's your own child or a family friend or a niece or a nephew. But if you wouldn't want that for them, then you shouldn't want it for you. And that's kind of an eye-opening type way of looking at it. So love yourself. Learn to love yourself. It's very hard and it takes practice. So nothing I'm saying here is easy, but you just have to start practicing it. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you do check out my website and that you like and subscribe these videos. And we will be posting the video on the site about finding your accountability partner. So that will be part 1, setting your personal vision statements, part 2, establishing your goals, and then part 3, finding an accountability partner. So thanks y'all for hanging out with me today. I hope that you do visit my site and make a purchase. It really does, it really will help, just because I'm not yet at the point where I'm monetized on YouTube. So that $10 will really make a difference. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you hanging out with me today, and we'll talk more next week. Take care.